Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Counterintelligence. Hi everybody, I'm Bob Kasha. If you were listening to Sunday Supper with Vito, you know that he was preparing a little early for the Super Bowl. Is there any better time to have finger foods, something convenient, something that just tastes great while you're cheering for your team and maybe get it all on the living room couch? We made wings and we made pepperoni bread with a little ham in it. So we're going to show you how to make all these, but there's something first. I want you to go to the website, www.sundaysupperwithvito.com. Why? The Pickle Spitball Challenge. This is a great contest. You're gonna love what a pickle in a plastic straw will do. But we'll talk about that a little later. First, let's get cracking. Now, this is very similar, almost identical, to 2 episodes ago when we did the calzone. But this is actually just a little simpler. Same procedure. I made the dough this morning. What you're gonna do is stretch it out. Use a little flour on your rolling pin. Start the action. Now, you want to make sure too that the dough is not that sticky. You know, get a good skin on it, and you'll be able to get your desired size just by, you know, taking it little by little. Work that middle a little bit. I could never do what those guys do at the pizza parlor, especially with a dark shirt and flour. So roll that out. Now, you heard on Sunday Supper with Vito that it was pepperoni bread, but we're gonna live life on the edge today, and we're gonna put a little ham in it too. And it really is just as simple. Line your pepperoni up, go to the edge, a couple of pieces of ham, layer it on top. This way you'll get a good bite out of just about every taste. Then, can you ever have too much cheese? Put it right in the middle, bump it up a little bit, because we're gonna roll this. And once again, unlike the calzone, where we folded it over, we're actually gonna roll this, like I said. So, pick it up from the bottom, tuck it, and pinch it at the ends. And because we don't have any wet filling, there's no need to put a hole on the top. So now it goes in the oven at 475. We are done. We've got our buffalo wings on this side of the plate. We have plain chicken wings here. Why do you ask? Because we're going to take the ugly orange sauce and just go to town. Listen, you can put however much you want on any of these. You can dip in the bowl. This sauce is just something you really want at home. I tell everybody, you could put it on an old sneaker and it still tastes good. Not that I've eaten that many old sneakers. Then remember, I made a coating with sriracha, brown sugar, little onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and butter. And we put them back in the oven. It's nice because the brown sugar gives it a real nice coating. And I would recommend more than just a little drizzle of this stuff on the wings that you're gonna serve. Or, once again, like I said, you can dip them. Now, what I really am anxious to do is cut open our pepperoni bread. Oh, listen to that. That worked. Here we go. I'm going to cut this into slices, and it's time to dig in. Now, there's a number of other things that we're going to put together for next week's Super Bowl edition. Once again, go to the website. The Pickle Spitball Challenge is really something that you could share with the kids and remind them, just like Ralphie, you could poke an eye out with that. All right, but that said, we're also actually going to put a line together that is going to be sent out there on our social media platforms just a couple hours before the big game. And you're going to be very surprised. Don't think that Woo Woo was that far off with her predictions with the Bengals and the Rams. Now, we've got Tom Greenbaum on from Audio Help Hearing Centers. Tom, thanks so much for being with us today.
My pleasure. Mo. Always enjoy it, talking about audio help.
I would ask you to please tell our audience who you are and what you do.
I am the Vice President of Marketing and Sales at Audio Help Hearing Centers. We have 3 offices in New York City, one in Stamford, Connecticut, and one in Scarsdale, New York. And I work doing all the advertising, the promotion, the strategies with Dr. Bravo and his staff to help run the company.
I was fortunate enough to have a hearing exam over at your 14th Street office and really spent some time with Dr. Bravo. And I am absolutely amazed at what you folks can do in relation to advancing better hearing, but not only that, the health benefits associated, or let me even couch that in a different term, the what could happen when you notice that you're starting to have a little bit of hearing loss in relation to other possible symptoms or conditions your body might be going through.
What most people don't realize is that only 30% of people who should have hearing aids, who have them, there's a huge number of people who don't hear well and just have not had a hearing test. And it's really important to their health to have a hearing test.
Right.
Because as you and I have talked in the past, reduced hearing, uncorrected reduced hearing has all sorts of implications. For example, there's a greater incidence of dementia or Alzheimer's if somebody doesn't have corrected hearing. There's a greater incidence of having depression. And another thing that particularly since the seniors in our group would be interested in is if they find themselves exhausted, really tired at the end of the day, there is a direct correlation between hearing problems and fatigue. And the explanation for that is really quite simple. If you're not hearing well, your brain works harder to help you hear, and that tires you out.
Wow. Wow. Every time I speak with you, in all honesty, I learn just a little more about how important this issue is. And now, as I know, but folks may not know in our audience, you also wear a audio help device, correct?
I do. I wear a Phonak brand hearing aid called the Titanium. And I also use a device called a Roger, which is a remote microphone, which also doubles as a TV streamer. So, I mean, I've been wearing hearing aids for 18 years, long before I knew Audio Help and Dr. Bravo.
Yeah.
It's a difference in my life, let me tell you, to be able to hear.
There is no question that when I got involved with Audio Help Hearing Centers, I did some of my own research, and I would like you to detail the difference in quality that your devices offer versus some of these that you see on TV. Hey, buy this hearing aid for X amount of dollars, and talk about amplification versus what you offer.
A quality hearing aid does an awful lot. I'm not an audiologist, and hopefully in the future you'll talk to Dr. Bravo or one of the audiologists about the technicalities of it. But the one thing I do know is these really cheap devices that you can buy for $50, a couple $100, all they do is magnify the sound. They just make it louder. They don't clear it up. And frankly, many people like me, my issue is not loudness. My issue is clarity. So I need good hearing aids. But the important thing that I guess I try to tell my friends when I can is the hearing aids aren't as important as the doctors who work with them. It's all about the staff, the training. I mean, Audio Help employs doctors of audiology.
Right.
They have 4 years schooling plus a couple of years internship. It's really not about the hearing aids. It's about the doctor and the added value they bring to the situation.
Sure. Well, I can attest to that. I mean, when I went in for my hearing exam, I spent probably close to 40 minutes with Dr. Bravo. And you talk about a detailed examination, things that I didn't realize I was losing a little bit of a pitch here or something like that. And, I'm not getting any younger. So I would ask you to tell the folks where they can reach your offices in order to make an appointment.
We really encourage people to call the office. And when people call in, we have 5 offices and they could be answered at any one of the offices because we have that kind of system.
Sure.
But the phone number the phone number for Audio Help to reach any of the offices is 866-530-7500. And you could reach the people at any office and they can make appointments for, if you're in New York City, in the Upper East Side, you can make appointments for 14th Street. If you're in Scarsdale, you can make an appointment for Scarsdale or Stanford. So it's 866-530-7500.
And tell us what the website address is, please.
It's www.audiohelphearing.com.
Great. Tom, thanks so much for being with us. And we're going to be talking to you and the audiologists over at Audio Help Hearing Centers real soon.
We look forward to it. We really enjoy our patients and we love to help.
If you remember, Uncle Carmine went and got himself a hearing aid. There is so much related to your overall health when you deal with hearing loss. It's something that a lot of us, you get up in an age, I can hear this, I can hear. Look, call Dr. Bravo. Get yourself an exam. It's covered by most insurance, and what'll it hurt? Nothing. Actually, it'll help. That's all we've got. Tune in next week for our Super Bowl edition of Counterintelligence.